to this game. But you're going to pull out the Petra, a very, very strong character. But going up against a Bryn crossover, Bryn is definitely top-notch.
Well, it was Raydish who beat Meg D.
Raydish?
Yeah.
What's going on here, man?
Yeah. So Taffyyyy needs to be a little bit afraid. But also, I mean, the thing is, just the ability to play at this level is one thing. The ability to play through people who are that defensive at this level is another. But Taffyyyy, of course, not a stranger of that good defense as well, but with these smaller stages, it makes it a little bit easier for Bryn to line up those very easy knockouts, especially with the Axe lineup.
The Axe lineup. I mean, people keep talking about how this weapon's nerfed, and I understand. The hammer and the Axe got nerfed at the same time. I still think that the Axe is super strong. That pickup was super strong. But the Axe is still top-notch, and so the hammer has fallen a little lower, but I don't want to hear any more slander about Axe play.
I mean, the option coverage right now from Taffyyyy has been immaculate. We're just hearing Remy before about talk about catch and burn dodges, right? Well, all right, that's a Petra classic. You get hit by that, that's your own fault. But Raydish is going to go for that out of disadvantage every time. There's another burn dodge right there. Eats it. That was all guaranteed off of the burn dodge into D-Light, GC D-Light Sair. Taffyyyy is exploiting heavily on them because we saw it before with the neutral sig to send them up to the skies. Didn't found out that close stock. Finds it again. Raydish has got to be careful, but where he's trying to land right now, finally finds one there to get that stock.
That was huge. Radish looked like they were about to bring this back and was doing really good to get rid of that first stock of Taffyyyy. But then that pickup, and it carried so far out to the left, it made it so much easier to get rid of that stock. That was so big to create this lead. Now Radish is going to have to play twice as hard to try to run this back. And downright dealing with this Axe, and I think the orb does well, but you're going to have to be really, really careful. And I like to swap over to the spear.
Yeah. Play the poke game right now. It's like try to outrange the orb as much as you can while not having to worry too much about trying to get big combos started. Granted, most of those starters actually came off of those sidelights from the Axe, so we're not really seeing anything change right now as we see him avoid that. But let's see what Taffyyyy can do about getting in. Taffyyyy has had a struggle for the past minute to actually land a hit. Radish has been clawing his way right back in.
Yeah, Radish is doing really, really well right now. This is exactly what I was saying. Play twice as hard, right? You're making Taffyyyy second-guess every decision that it looks like Taffyyyy wants to make. Finally, weapon throw into the Nair. I mean, the neutral light worked out, but he's still not a lot of damage put on. And boom, the KO is done by Radish. Here we go, final stocks, and opting to stick with the gauntlets.
Yeah, you know, this is the testament of good players. When you can make a comeback after being down like that, and not just a comeback while taking a lot of trades. Radish did that with barely not getting hit at all. And that is really, really frustrating for Taffyyyy. But now Taffyyyy has access to the Axe, just misses that. That would have sealed the game there, Zip.
Inched over a little bit to the left. That would have been the hit. That would have been full coverage. Couldn't get back on. But you got to give kudos to the movement of Radish to touch that little sliver of land that they had. All right, here we go. Nice, and the Sair off of the side light is going to get the KO for Taffyyyy. Taffyyyy with the first game, and I like it. The play was so good. Now, it got a little scary allowing Radish to bring that back the way that Radish did, but you still closed it out. You still got to take a deep breath and go into this next one and see what you were doing wrong when you were getting it ran down on you.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that Radish kind of stopped playing scared, is the best way to put it, because those replays, you saw it again, how most of the damage and the two stocks that got taken for Taffyyyy to start were off of Radish playing very afraid out of disadvantage, which, to be fair, that is Bryn staring you down. There are some massive punishes you can take from that, but Taffyyyy also started playing very frightened afterwards when Radish was playing just out of range. So let's see if Radish can replicate that success, but this time finish the deal and take a game.
So I have a question for you. I'm not one with the Creed. Can you give me some lore on this character, Ivor?
I am also not one with the Creed, so all I know is that he is from the Viking version. That's all.
Brawlhalla, right?
That's as far as you got. And I know Left Stick somewhere in the building is very upset with the both of us.
I know,
okay.
I know. Left is a huge fan. Left is a huge fan. And hopefully he's becoming a fan of Taffyyyy because the use of this crossover and this play that we're seeing is very, very good. This high in the bracket, and Radish is nothing to sneeze at.
Well, still playing like an assassin at that. And it's like doing amazing at sneaking their way in. Every time Radish has been very afraid to try and find openings. But this is very close. Sidelight Sider, actually just a straight up Sider, not going to be enough. Going off stage, maybe looking for the ground pound or looks for the recovery. That's going to be a neutral light punish. It's not going to be enough, but looking for maybe the ground pound. Good defense on on Radish to get away from Taffyyyy, and that should be Radish just stock with the weapon toss. Absolutely. That was That turned very high intensity really fast out of nowhere.
Really, really fast. And at that last moment, I think if Taffyyyy would have been a little bit more patient, it was such high octane that the decision-making started to get lacking. Because you didn't have to go for your recovery yet, and that's, especially with the axe, you want to kind of wait for the other person to approach, and then that way you can kind of use it as a defensive tool as you're recovering. But the dodge should have been able to go through that gauntlet throw. Either way it goes, still a good look for both players. They both got down to the second stock, and Spear is the choice here. I'm loving how much Spear we're seeing, because I was trying to say last time during doubles that weapon is way better than I've been thinking. Oh my gosh, if that downlight would have hit.
If you deserve that one. You actually deserve to have that stock, Taffyyyy, but instead Raydish is now going to make you pay for it momentarily as the recovery comes through and closes it out.
My goodness, that weapon, dude. The spear is nuts, man. And it hasn't, okay, now I know that there was the balance changes, but the spear didn't get that much of a treatment for it to be being used in this caliber, right?
I'm going to go ahead and give compliments to Fiend during MSI. I think that Fiend spear play really opened the eyes of a lot of people into how good this combo game weapon can be. Because Wes and Fiend came in and said, y'all are talking about NA, y'all are talking about EU, y'all forgot to pay attention to us over here. And it's been consistently performing well, as we've seen that from quite a few people here today. But Radish is going to go ahead and find that knockout off the top. One more stock apiece here for both of them in game number 2.
You know that tech I'm seeing Radish use, I haven't really seen many people do that. Side like Sayer is going to be some good damage. But when Radish gets the recovery KO with the gauntlets up at the top of the screen, Radish uses that one extra jump and then throws the weapon up, falls down and gets the new one. That's pretty cool. And I'm seeing like it's literally lingering into a weapon laying on the ground and then the other player coming into the stage. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, wasting a little bit more time on it too, like make them back off. But oh my goodness, that's a bad spot. Yeah, going for that recovery. They're going to be forced to potentially take another dare here. I don't think that Taffyyyy goes for the ground pound that gives up stage position. Just missed out on the D-light on the jump in, and now Radish just misses out, goes for the big play and gets reversaled by the side air.
What a punish, what a punish. That side air was perfect on that Shoryuken. And most of the time, that thing like goes unpunished, that Shoryuken.
Bro, I just look over at this, you go, It's like as he gets knocked out.
I had to hug myself because it was so intense.
You got that just missing had Zip in his feelings.
Yes.
It's like, man, maybe I should call her. But we're going to get into the next one here. 2 games up in favor of Taffyyyy over Radish right now. But Radish has been struggling a bit to deal with Taffyyy's mid-range game, but Radish also just beat Megd. That's why I can't count him out just yet. Megd is one of the most defensive, strong, talented players in terms of just kind of mentally taxing you because of how hard it can be to hit him. The fact that he's run into that same issue here with Taffyyyy, who's been playing a little bit more aggressive, it might take a few games to adjust to that. So we'll see if he can make the adjustment to close it out. It's been very close each game so far, though, Zip.
Yeah, especially the beginnings are always really, really close. One of them takes the stock, and then the other one immediately takes the other one. And then from there, they carry on with a little bit of back and forth play. No one's really getting smashed out, you know what I mean? But I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on in the closeouts for Radish. It's always like a big whiff that gets you closed out. Now, Radish had this lead in the first game, but Taffyyyy was able to bring it back. Can Radish hold on to this one?
It's kind of hard to on Small Brawlhaven. Like, it's just these stocks have been flying so quickly. And the amount of connections I've seen Taffyyyy get off of D-Light stairs have been so high that Radish is kind of been scared out of jumping, which makes it way easier to find those side lights. So Taffyyy's been playing amazing on the conditioning game. Going to go ahead and avoid that run-up gauntlet neutral light. And again, Taffyyyy keeps getting the whiff punishes. Finally gives up stage position after trying to go for a little bit unexecuted on the edge guard.
Yeah, very, very low execution on that edge guard. Didn't really hit too much.
That's like 5-6. It's like, all right, look, let me showcase. I want to showcase the crossover. You see how cool these look?
They really do look really, really cool. But, you know, sometimes you got to do the Beyblade and let them rip. You know what I'm saying? You got to throw out those SIGs and let them know, hey, I got these in my bag, and I'm not afraid to use them.
That's the spirit of Teros.
Yes!
That's the lost spirit of Teros we're watching right now. Just let them fly. But going to go ahead and get that chase continuing right now. Just misses out. That sidelight sider is going to get a free punish, of course. And that gives Radish another lead.
That was the tech again. You see it?
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Gets the KO and instantly chase dodge up, jump into the air again, throw it up. I don't know why it's so intriguing to me. It's just different. Nice! The neutral light to beat the ground pound right in the middle of the hitbox to stop it from coming down and ruining your recovery back to stage.
And my goodness, Taffyyyy is committed to the bit at this point right now. And I mean, look, if one connects, then you look like a genius because they're gone. But for Raydish, we have seen none of those connect. And that one is a lie on my part because he finally gets a connection. However, it was not enough to seal the deal.
I thought that was it. I really cannot believe he made it back. I cannot believe it. Side like Sarah, you are hurting pretty bad right now, Taffy. I don't know. I think that we're about to get a game on the board for Radish. Can Taffy clutch up? Oh, double whiff. And still not enough. Weapon throw. Dodge is used. The good old sneaky axe recovery. You don't get into the right placement, and you just get blasted.
And now on last stock here, I think this is where Taffyyyy stops going for all of the SIGs because you've done so many in a row that now Radish is going to be playing at that range you're scared of them. So this is where you should be able to line up some pretty free punishes for side lights is what I would have said if the match was still going. But it is not because Radish just put himself on the board.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. 1-2. Radish at least holding strong and not going out 3-0. We got to see more though to make sure that Radish can come through and take this set. But Taffyyyy is definitely going to be looking to close this bad boy out here in this game.
Much better game for Radish that time too. 601 to 460. So like every other game, it was usually about a solid 200 difference in favor of Taffyyyy, regardless of how close it went towards the end. So the fact that Radish was able to come out on top that time, play good defense, and I think simplicity is key is the big thing. Is that actually simplicity don't mean anything in the eyes of Radish now. He's actually chasing very hard at disadvantage. Fighting
very well in the sky, and I mean, it makes sense, right? Because Dragon Ball characters fight in the sky. And what does Petra look like to you?
Basically.
Yeah, come on. Now, you know what Petra is.
That's a whole Street Fighter character.
That is not no Street Fighter character. No, it is not.
That is a disciple of Akuma.
Look at her. She's literally Kefla. We've been over this. Nice KO with the recovery.
You might be right, just because of the knockout on the top.
You know what I'm saying? Fighting in the skies.
I ain't ever seen no short you can go that high before. Right now, Radish has another lead, and Taffy has been struggling a bit to find these openers. Before, the dares were pretty easy to find, and mostly the sidelights were very easy to find. Nice. And now we're seeing these actually connect into the downer. Go for another one off the GC. I like the attempt there, Zip, but that one missed. However, the attempt still puts a lot of fear into Taffyyyy in the next time.
The attempt was huge, and the whole sequence itself was huge. Look at the damage. All right, you're higher damage on your second stock than Radish is on the first stock. No, another hit. You finally land a neutral light, but it's still not really enough to do anything. Try to go for the haymaker, and that's going to be a clean punish.
All right, this is why I did not want to count out Radish back when he was down 2 games, because going up again, I know I keep mentioning McD on this, but there's a very different play style you're running into on that. And Radish is now starting to warm up to a lot of what Taffyyyy was doing, and Taffyyyy has been struggling to find openers. Before, Taffyyyy was getting every D-light that they want, every single sidelight that they wanted. Those have not been connecting anymore, and that is a huge change.
That's definitely the deal. The recoveries are still hitting, but is it too little too late? You tell me. The downlights are really not happening exactly how you said, because it was more of like punishes, and Radish just started slowing down when they swing, right? Like, so just trying to throw them out raw and neutral, they're not really hitting at all.
Finally gets a punish. Yeah, that required a whiff punish to get it, and I'll blame one that made sense. But the neutralize, all right, that was... I like the fact that Taffyyyy actually went back on stage there. There's no reason to go for ground pound or anything at that point. It's not going to knock out. You get stage position again. But now Radish going back in, had the right idea, chasing with the recovery. Taffy's going to get away from it. Taffyyyy finally finds a sidelight, but no real follow-up after that, Zip. And that's a huge part. I like how, since I pointed out earlier that none of them connected, he's connected on like 4.
That's exactly what's been happening.
I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see it. Yeah. Radish has woken up heavily. We are now going to Game 5. We are finally not going to go to Small Brawlhaven, because I think for Taffy's realized, well, that is not working anymore. Yeah, it has been too much of a struggle.
You're fighting Petra. Yeah. You don't fight a resonant slapper on that stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you really trying to lose your stocks that free? Is that what you want?
Yeah, it's true. That's actually true. Why are you trying to, look, Petra wants all the smoke. Let's just be real. All right, we're going to get into game number 5 here, and going on to Apocalypse. The background probably having to do with the hand of Petra, let's be real. Yeah. Now, game number 5 here with the platform in the mix, a little bit different to change up the way you land, but also the way you push advantage. Let's see if it matters enough to give Taffyyyy that adjustment to get back into this.
I mean, we're going to see. It's been an okay start here. We're really early on in the game, but, I mean, the neutral play, look at this, getting nice little punishes, nice little damage racked up off a couple of small touches with this axe. And I like this because the other games we're seeing like a lot of heavy spear use. You rack up some damage with this axe and then switch over to your spear because you're being killing efficiently with the spear. So get their damage up with the axe and then close out with the spear.
Yeah, I mean, this air game has been looking a lot better with all these straight hits off the axe. Like, you don't really need to do a whole lot, and that is finally, we haven't seen that connect since stock 1 of game 1. It's finally going to find another mark, and this is the most important time for it to do it.
Definitely, definitely. You got to take this lead, especially with how Raydish, you got to stop the bleeding. Raydish has been starting off every game hot on this run back and really cooking you alive. You gotta change pace, and it's looking okay. But Raydish is starting to heat up once again. The microwave's on.
Yeah, hopefully that could keep going. Let's see if he's found a way to find his openings back up. The neutral is going to push him back off stage, but the gauntlets are actually not going to be the play. Just to make sure they get the star going. Side side air is going to be the consistency you're always looking for and gets that stock.
Raydish might have the cleanest weapon starves I've ever seen. Like, that pickup, threw it down, like skidded a little bit in time to come over, grab the other weapon, throw that one down, and then pick the other one back up. That was
still
so
push
clean.
ledge without wasting a lot of time. Like, it was very minimal effort taken for that. Yeah. And now you look at how much more grounded Raydish has been trying to play because of how many air dares he was losing before. And Taffyyyy trying to force them. It's been working for Taffyyy's advantage, so in recovery is going to be enough to do it. Game number 5. Loser here goes out elimination side at 7th place. And again, what has been one of the most chaotic brackets we've seen in the seasonal championship. I'm surprised this isn't titled Winters from what we've been seeing today.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, so one of the things that I'm seeing of Taffyyy's play in this game is understanding how to fight Radish in the skies. Like, I kept mentioning how Radish was fighting in the skies, and that was the answer to these games. Now, Radish is going up there with, oh my gosh.
Yeah, the sky's the limit, like you said. Unfortunately, that limit was broken, and we are now on to the final stock. Gonna go ahead and sneak in to get that spear. Side air coming through. Here comes the Radish, starting to get some damage on, and Taffyyyy just trying to be very careful about how he approaches now.
Man, that was ridiculous. I'm lost. I'm at a loss for words. That gravity cancel was so good. But this axe, all right, so in this game, the axe has been the answer for Taffyyyy. A lot of good play, a lot of nairs have been hitting and leading into situations where the recovery can come out. But Radish is starting to catch on and playing a lot better defense than they were in that first stock. So we're seeing a turnaround here. And we've got even health, nice side air. And what's going to be the play?
I don't know.
Back on stage.
You got to be very careful how you get back on stage. It's going to be switch over to Spear. Looking for an opening right now. Just trying to hover around. Looking for that one opportunity. Radish looking for a bird dodge. Goes for the big play, but the recovery comes through. Gets the punish. Radish is going to find him. Oh, he used a lot of resources, but Radish gets no punish on the landing. Side air comes through. Maybe a dare at the ledge. No, goes for the desync. Does not connect.
Throwing out those spirit bombs, man. Asking for the people's energy, the crowd. Are you rooting for Radish? Because Radish might take this one home. Taffyyyy really trying to make it back to the stage. If that was over a little bit further, that was game. Taffyyyy still hanging on by a thread.
There was so many times where they just whiffed off the recovery before, off for the signature after, missing out after again. But Taffyyyy goes for the big play finally again at the end. And that's going to cost them as you close it out with the side air. And Radish continues this run through Summers and knocks out Taffyyyy.
My goodness. What a set, man. That was good stuff. That was good stuff. Both players, like, it started off on just a